What's going on, Eagles Nation? Welcome to today's episode of Bird Buzz. Stephen Hellmann here alongside Tom Aresco, coming at you, favorite program, answering some questions.
It's pretty crazy we're still doing this after, 2 years now. It's
about 2 years.
Pretty wild,
Pretty
wild. So thanks for the support, guys.
Thank you.
We got some questions, favorite series, like you said.
That is a favorite.
Let's get into it, baby.
So why would we ever stop? Why would we ever stop? First question, it's Miles S. With the new acquisitions, how far can the Eagles go this year?
I said it earlier.
Super Bowl.
Talking to him.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl now.
I think playoffs.
We think we can contend for a playoff spot. We think we can contend for a playoff spot. And with these new acquisitions, the margin of upgrade is huge in the league compared to other teams and positions. This wide receiving core, getting a guy like Alshon is the biggest upgrade around the league. I said it every video since we got him. And it's going to show from day one. Let's get it done. Let's just get it done. Let's compete for a playoff spot.
Exactly. Next question at Mark923 asks, is Sidney Jones hurt? Who do the Eagles realistically turn to in the first round, or do we trade back?
I would say that, I really have been loving these running backs. Leonard Fournette, Dalvin Cook, and then Marshawn Lattimore is the cornerback that I really think's worth the only cornerback worth a top 14 pick at this point. Now that Sidney Jones is gone with the Achilles tear, so those three guys are really my three targets right there. Those are my top three targets. If you can go and move up, get one of them. Just get one of them. If you can't and it's too much and it's not in your plans, then sit and get somebody else that falls, because someone's gonna fall. It's top 14. There's definitely
we're gonna be able to get a good player there.
Yeah, there's gonna be a good player there, and you either move up to get your star running back or your lockdown cornerback, or you just let's say lockdown cornerback with a grain of salt, because he'll come in and probably get pretty torched up by the NFL players, but he'll develop.
Yeah.
Get one of those three. If not, then go to Corey Davis, Reuben Foster, Derek Barnett. I mean, there's so many of them. I'm going to do an article about some draft prospects soon, so keep checking the blog. Just did one, released it yesterday, so check that out. ViewsFromTheLincTV.wordpress.com. Plugging that. I'm back doing some articles, giving you some insight. So keep it rolling.
All right, next question. Paul Douglas asks, will the Eagles sign a lineman like Jonathan Hankins, or draft one in the first 3 rounds, or develop a later round defensive lineman?
Well, Destiny Vio, Bo Allen are 7th round. Bo Allen was 7th round. Destiny Vio was a UDFA. So they have no issue going and getting late round guys to develop. But I do believe that they'll add bodies before OTAs, before camp, whether it's in the first couple rounds. I mean, I don't know if they're really. I think they're comfortable with Bo Allen, guys like that. And they'll bring in a guy. I think they're going to let the market settle a little bit. Yeah. We'll see on Hankins. I'd love to pick up because he's 24 years old. And he's big and he has some starting experience, so I think he'd be a great fit. And he can wreak havoc up front with Fletcher Cox. But I do believe that they're not in any rush so much to go get someone right now at this time. Yeah, no, they'll bring in some guy for competition, but they're letting the market settle for free agents. We got the guys that we absolutely need to get. Now we can be a little more patient. Next question, J Brad 13 asks, from Bradley asks, does Howie Roseman deserve a statue at the Nova Care Complex? I say yes. He's been phenomenal. He's been great, but you got to wait on the results. And the other day I said on Twitter that I thought he was the best GM in the league, and arguably. And I didn't mean that in a slight to guys that built winning programs such as the New England GM and all that stuff, which is basically Bill Belichick. I feel like he does everything there, but they're great. But I'm talking about teams. That have tried to rebuild and haven't gotten it right in a while. I think that this franchise, the Eagles, what was it? 2009 was their last playoff win. Mm-hmm. So even that, that's about 8 years that they've been trying to figure it out since then. And Roseman, a guy that we all outcasted, whatever. We threw him to the wolves. And he comes back with all this knowledge of how to build a team, and in 2 years we look like we're talking about the playoffs. And we have a quarterback that everyone loves. The first time since McNabb. Teams like the Rams, the Jaguars, the Browns. They've been trying to rebuild forever. It seems, and the Rams haven't been good since 03-04 when Bolger and those guys were there. So and Warner before that, but. There's teams in the league that haven't figured it out, and Howie Roseman. That's what I meant by when I said arguably the best GM. For what he's doing, it's impressive. It's impressive seeing how he's been able to build. So I think amongst people, teams trying to build the right way, I think he's right up there. Look how quick the turnaround is and how quickly we got, guys that have a lot of talent in 2 years after Chip pretty much dismissed all our talent.
Well, I think the one thing that he does better than anyone else, which is becoming ever more important each year, is the contracts and the cap, because players are demanding more money. That's just how it works every year. Players, and how just standard economics, the value of the dollar goes down. So players are demanding more money, but him doing all these contracts and how he's working, he's able to get guys that they're like, how is he doing this?
It's almost like he can predict the market. I mean, he got Malcolm Jenkins and Rodney McLeod right before Rashad Jones got his deal. That's pretty much worth a little less than what Jenkins and McLeod make combined.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just that overall, those overall contract values are just unreal. And then the other thing that he did was he did the 1 year deal with Alshon, and then that dictated Terrell Pryor's market with the Redskins.
Yeah.
With the 1 year deal. So, people, I'm telling you, there's going to be teams that are like, look at what he does and figure out how to do it. You know what I mean? There's going to be teams out there that want to know how he manages such a small amount of cap, but also lures good players to the team. Yeah. I mean, the Eagles it's kind of in the shield that regardless of the no Super Bowls thing, this is a team in a city that people are drawn to because of the passion that the fans have, and it's real. It's a real. Yeah. It's not a fair weather fan base. They come to every game. They're screaming and hollering, and it sells out. Yeah. And that's it. So it's huge. And Howie Roseman's got the team back on the map.
Yeah. No. Next question, Greg Shadow 1. Should we try to pick up Revis, then get a running back in the first round and a corner in the second? I don't think we go after Revis.
No Revis. I originally thought about it, and then had a discussion with a couple people on Twitter, and I'm kind of turned off to the idea. The only thing I'd want is for him to be able to be like a veteran shoulder for the young guys to lean on. And I don't even know if that's the kind of person he is. He's kind of like just a selfish, like cocky, egotistical guy, and he's at the end of his career, which would probably make him even more that, because they always feel like I'm a legend, like the players that like get old and they're just like, no, I'm a legend, like they're like, yeah, you are, but you kind of suck. So I don't think so. And then I want to draft a running back in the first and the corner in the second anyway. So that's kind of it.
Next question then is they ask, what are your thoughts of Christian McCaffrey?
I think he's a utility player. I think he's going to make a living in the NFL on a team. Hopefully he gets on a team that will use him this way and not try to force him as the lead back. Yeah. Give him 10 to 15 touches. Put him in the slot, line him up in the backfield, put him on special teams. Have him come in motion. That kind of thing. I mean, imagine a guy like that in Chip Kelly's scheme, sure-handed. Just a reliable player. And I don't think he's a blazer. I don't think he's some crazy athletic monster. I mean, he's a very good athlete, but I just think that in the NFL, running back takes a certain strength and build, and I think he's a little light, kind of like like how the Patriots used Welker, Edelman. They're obviously light guys. They don't like bust through a lot of tackles, so they get them in those little spaces that they just know they're going to get open in that little crease, make the catch, make those reliable plays. Probably how the Patriots are going to use Brandon Cooks too. Yeah. He's just a freak athletically, and he's obviously a little better, I feel, than the guys that I mentioned, but he's kind of the same way, kind of like how the Eagles. Here's an example of Ben, how the Eagles use Josh Huff. That's the kind of player I feel McCaffrey is, and I don't think that the Eagles should take him. I want a lead running back. And
we need a lead running back. McCaffrey's going to be a luxury pick.
He's be a spark plug in an offense, but we need foundation.
Yeah, exactly. Next question, at Christian Eagles 81 asks, will Wentz look better than Dak now that they both have good weapons?
I really think that Wentz is a great quarterback, but I also think Dak Prescott's a great quarterback. So I mean, the weapons thing, I think the Cowboys are a little more advanced on offense. Their offensive line's really, really good. Obviously, Ezekiel, Elliott is more proven than any running back we have on the roster, and who knows what they're going to do in the draft. So they have that. And then they have a couple weapons that Dak already played with for a year, and then have been playing under the same scheme, under the same coaching staff for a while. And Jason Witten, Des Bryant, Cole Beasley, and Terrence Williams, and Bryce Butler. So that's a bunch of guys that are pretty good players. I mean, they're from really good to pretty solid players. So they're a really good team, and I just think they're a little more advanced than us right now. So I mean, I don't think it so much means that Dak's way better than Wentz or anything like that, but I think that Wentz has some things to work on, and obviously Dak does as well. But I think Dak's a little more polished, and it also helps when you can hold the ball 7 seconds or so every play. No one touches them, and I do think Wentz, coming out was a little more raw, drafted more on potential, and the Cowboys, struck gold with pretty good quarterback, and he's a really good quarterback, and fits exactly what they're trying to do. He's athletic, his escapability, counted for 29 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions last year. So ball security's there, and he's that's unreal numbers. So,
but Wentz will be better in time. Maybe not next year.
I hope so too. It's all about putting that work in and just developing chemistry with your guys, and that's something that Dak has a little leg up on right now with Wentz or over Wentz, and but I think the Eagles can beat the Cowboys, and I think Wentz is coming for coming to close that gap and show people that there really isn't much of a gap.
Yeah. All right. Billy Ebron 28 asks, should the Eagles trade up or keep their pick this draft?
I think the Eagles should trade up in the draft to secure one of the top prospects that I named earlier, in Leonard Fournette, Dalvin Cook, and Marshawn Lattimore. And that's just what I think. I want a really good player. I want to cap this offseason off with a really strong draft, and I want to head that draft with a really good first-round pick. I don't care if we have to give up, a mid-round pick to get up to get a guy. Mm-hmm. Get a guy that's going to visibly make our team better next year, because with Marcus Smith and Nelson Aguilar, you owe us one. You owe us 2. You gave us Wentz. Now, look, Roseman, is it your fault? Not so much. Marcus Smith, I heard that was your pick. You admitted that was your pick. Mm-hmm. And then Chip Kelly with Nelson Aguilar. Is that your fault? No. But let's get one back. Let's get 2 back. It's been a while. Brandon Graham, what was that? He's good now, but Earl Thomas was the clear shot pick. So let's just not outthink yourself, and let's just get the guy we need that's going to make the team better next year and in the future. Okay? Just because he's going to make you better next year doesn't mean he's not going to make you better in the future. Mm-hmm. I just want a guy that can be instant impact, and that's Marshawn Lattimore, that's Dalvin Cook, and that's Leonard Fournette, and maybe even Corey Davis or Reuben Foster. But those aren't as pressing needs as those other 2 positions. Exactly. So you go for the ones that are more pressing and get the best players out of that group. And you've done that your whole last year, this year in free agency. Just do it. Just go up and get the players.
I agree. Next question, Carlos Rado 2 asks, sorry, Carlos. If the Eagles got your guy Fournette, do you think Peterson would adjust his style?
I think that Peterson would adjust the style to really effing good offense. Now, Carlos, it's my boy from Twitter. He likes these DBs. He wants a corner, and he's a California native, so he's going to be cheering on whoever we get with us out at the games next year. Yeah. And we're all going to hang out and then do our thing out there, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to meet up with some other West Coast Eagles fans. There's a bunch of them. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to bring the tailgate, and you know what I'm trying to get? Mighty E-Rock, Gale, Eagle Sessions on Twitter, the Mighty E-Rock on Twitter, 4th and John. I know you guys heard of them. If not, go check them out. Huge, upcoming movement in Philly right now, and our boys, they go on road trips. They did Baltimore last year. Mm-hmm. You know where I'm trying to get them to come this year, right?
I no idea. Where? Where could they possibly?
Los Angeles. So this is a
message. Would have never guessed. Would have never guessed.
This is a message to you guys. Yeah. Come join us, Nest out west. We'll be back in Philly for a couple tailgates, games with you guys. Unfortunately, we wish we could be at everyone, but we can't. It's gotta start with the Nest out west, and we branch out from here. That's just what it is. Carlos is part of that. He's been a big Eagles fan, big Eagles fan for a while. So it's crazy that we have a lot of these guys, and we have a lot of guys out here, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I personally can't wait. And to wrap things up, I just want to say that
if one of those games against those LA teams is in London, I'm going to lose it.
Oh, we're going to London then. Get your passports ready.
I feel like it's going to happen. And
I got my passport. You got
and it keeps me up at night. I have a passport. It keeps me up at night.
I'm talking to our viewers. You guys got to get your passports. Oh man.
I just don't want that to happen on the LA games. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining us. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next week for the Weekly Chirp.